And welcome to a Roblox Let's Play video. So guys, I'm currently live right now, so go check out the channel. But today we have a new video. Well, okay, hold on. Let me just give you a little backstory. So earlier in my stream, this is part 3 because bullshit. But me and my friend Bussy or Pussy, like in The Sopranos, we were gonna watch Turkey Tom's Gig Lagoon video. But I've now seen it. Well, that was at number 5, so nothing was really shocking since I like remember everything. I just wanted to go back and watch it. But apparently it was a much worse person than Giggly Goon. Worse to the fact that when I came, like, apparently I've watched this video, I guess years ago. I don't remember when, but when I like clicked on it today, I had it disliked. And that really scared me. So we got about 4 minutes in before I thought of this lovely idea. So apologies to Pussy. And so yeah, Pussy, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start calling you Pussy just because of Pussy. All right. So we're gonna be watching Kira the Wolf Got Away with It. I'm terrified. Ah, damn it. Oh shit. Hold on. Okay, guys, we're back. So we're gonna start the video in 3, 2, 1. So it's saying it's just
Furries.
the
They're one
most
of the
disturbing
internet's most
topic.
infamous
Yeah, sorry, it
subcultures.
sounds
While
like
years ago they
shit.
were
That's not
maligned
really
based on
my
the strange
fault. Tom's
presentation
just a
of their
fucking
interests,
retard.
today
Sorry, that
furries
was
are
not
generally
even
accepted
nice.
with the rest of the internet and no
This was
longer
back in
mocked to nearly the
2023.
same extent.
How am I so
However,
far
with communities that
down?
participate in
No,
unorthodox
2022.
behavior, a few
Early
bad actors
2022.
being brought to
Yeah,
light
April
will often cast a
2022.
shadow on the rest of them. The last time we touched on the furry community, we discussed a particularly strange individual
Oh,
who
because I
spent her
don't have
time
any
attempting to
fucking.
legitimize her own zoophilia
Oh, well, that's
acceptance
why.
movement. Hypnotist Sappho believed that humans and animals could
Yeah,
be
I
in
don't know if I've watched the
relationships, and
You can
Sappho
she
tell it's an
herself
video.
old.
claimed to have abused
You can tell it's
What?
an
several
old
dogs
time
to
video because it's only
reflect these
48
beliefs.
minutes.
When something like
You're
this is said on
fucking.
a public
Hold on.
platform,
Tom's
those
just
who
fucking,
participate
like,
are often lambasted for
raping
their
my
takes on the
ears.
subject,
Okay, what,
and
boy?
deservedly so.
This is only. You can tell it's an old time video because it's only
I am
48
more
minutes.
attracted
Uh-huh.
to dogs, like German shepherds.
Ugh.
If
That's the
you
guy that
are
looks like
willing to
Artie
stay and
Bucco.
listen
It's
to
spoilers.
my
This
view
part is
and
spoilers.
No,
Does that not look
I'm
like
not.
Artie Bucco
I'm
a
not.
little?
This video is 36 minutes long. I don't have a ton of confidence that in 36 minutes you're gonna say anything that makes anyone go, "Yeah, you know what? You're right."
Actually, I see
Totally
it.
fine.
But for just
I'm
how
telling
awful
you,
she
that's
was,
immediately
even
what I
Sappho
saw.
herself disavowed one
It's
particular
kinda, you
name
gotta
from the furry
kinda, like,
community.
look
Sappho
past,
claims
like,
that zoophiles are
you
typically
know, but.
misunderstood, and speaks of someone else who is
Yeah,
genuinely
yeah.
evil.
This isn't the
zoophilia
Sappho
is
video,
often
Tom.
very misunderstood,
He's reusing
especially
content.
because of
Yeah, he's a
certain
Lazy.
retard.
very terrible people
Where's Tom
and what you
live?
may have seen in the news. And
As
someone
soon as I got
that I
hooked
will
onto
not
watching Tom live
mention,
and Tom Dark videos, he
if you
fucking, like,
remember that
left.
situation with the zoo sadism.
Well, no,
leaks
we were on
2
Tom
years
Dark
back.
for like a
It's
good
kind of
few
funny
months.
to hear someone who had
Oh,
sex with a
really?
German Shepherd morally
Yeah.
grandstand about anything, but regardless of that, it is
Having
somewhat
sex with
perplexing,
animals
isn't it?
is
Even someone
bad.
as deplorable as Sappho, who spent her time intentionally attracting
Right?
minors to Discord servers in
Yes.
order to expose them to her
Okay.
zoophilia community,
Well, no
stopped
spoilers,
short
no
of
spoilers.
endorsing whatever happened in these
No
leaks, as she
spoilers.
refers to them. So what are those leaks? In September of
Oh,
2018,
here we
a massive
go.
dump of
Oops.
files, including videos and chat logs, were released to the
Oh,
internet.
but,
These materials
trigger
outlined
warning,
the
fat
existence of an
people.
online
Kero's
community
a fucking
dedicated
lard
to zoo
ass.
sadism, the practice of
Huh? Oh,
feeding
trigger warning,
animals
Shane
for
Dawson.
sexual pleasure. While reading that out
Yeah.
sounds bad enough, as more and more leaks came out, the internet nearly exploded with how disturbing the content was. It seemed like for a time, everyone on this side of the internet was talking about the zoo sadism leaks, with a particular focus on one furry named Kero the Wolf. But suddenly the investigation was
Kero.
dropped, seemingly on a technicality.
That's
Shortly
odd.
after,
Oh, while
Kero
we're
came
playing
back to
baseball, there were a
YouTube
bunch
to
of
tell the world
cops
that he
around the
was
place.
innocent of his
Apparently, there's like
crimes.
I know this
shots
video
fired
isn't gonna please
somewhere.
everyone. I feel like
Damn,
some
he's
people
big
are
as
making new
hell.
accusations and lies about me. I know this video may not
Yeah,
please
I'm
everyone,
eating a butt
but I'm
cake right
moving
now, and I
forward
feel like
with
he's
my
gonna come
content
through the
and
screen
my
and
channel.
grab
Since
it.
then, he's posted to YouTube multiple times, and is currently semi-active on Twitter, even bragging about getting the accounts of others banned. So what happened? Why,
That's not
after all the
nice.
chat leaks, conversation across every social media platform, and an official police investigation, did it all amount to nothing?
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll have to
This is
find
the
out.
story of how Kero the Wolf got away with it.
Thank you, Tom.
Kero the Wolf, real name Joshua Hoffman, was likely
Josh!
indistinguishable from any other internet user when he first came online. It's believed that sometime in 2012, he began to be involved with the furry fandom after a wallpaper of a bunch of people in
A
fursuits caught his
wallpaper.
interest. Like any member of any fandom, he then began looking for places to express his newfound interest and discover like-minded people. He subsequently created a Vine, Twitter, and signed up for Fur Affinity, a forum
Yay!
dedicated entirely to the
Ew!
existence and
I meant
discussion of the
yummy.
furry fandom. But he wasn't content just being a part of the community. He also wanted to share his passion with the world.
Hey, this
On
is where
July
we
7th,
stopped.
2013, he created his YouTube channel, simply titled Kero the Wolf. From there, he began posting videos revolving around the fandom itself, with uploads like
Furries.
Alameda Fur Meet and monthly Pittsburgh Comic Fur Bowl, showing footage of various furry meetups around the country. The oldest video he uploaded is actually dated the same day as the channel's creation, and features a video of a furry walking
What
into
the
a wedding to snap a
fuck?
photo with the bride and groom.
We all have that one thing that drives us absolutely insane.
Oh,
It makes
wow.
us want to beat so in the face of the fish. Ah.
Enter Ashley Zoe
great.
Fox, someone who is
Ew.
fandom and felt it deserved to be covered in a larger platform. There's no
Yeah,
doubt that strange
large.
internet-based subculture
No
allowed
fucking
further
kidding.
exploration and content.
You
And at the
fucking
time, it was pretty
nasty.
popular to either mock or investigate forms of the web,
Ew.
which are considered to be unorthodox.
ew.
But Ashley wouldn't be
Cringe.
the one to make the video that would shoot Kero to stardom. Instead, she nudged a personal friend of hers to make a video focused on the community. That
Anybody,
friend
like,
was Shane
popping their
Dawson.
pimples and eating
boy.
it?
Werewolves up into
Ew.
a
Shut the
werewolf
fuck up.
thing, you know, grr and stuff. But
Ew,
I was
whoa,
looking for a werewolf
ew.
wallpaper for my computer, and these like fursuits showed up. I'm like, oh my god! And I clicked on it. I set it as my wallpaper for like a week, and then my friend pointed out, I'm like, you like furries? I'm like, well, what's a furry? Holy crap! So I looked it
Dumbass.
up, and I got dragged right into it.
While today he is maligned by many YouTubers and celebrities alike, at the time
Aw.
Shane was relatively respected and had a loyal audience who really enjoyed what he did.
Cat
There were those
incident.
that were critical of him, but his channel had
We all
just
do
shy
that.
of 10 million subscribers, providing an unprecedented amount of attention
He
to
had a
anyone who would
book?
co-star in his videos.
Ugh.
More than any TV show, and more than just about every other YouTube channel that was around at the time. What's more, he was currently at the beginning of his arc as a YouTube documentarian, pulling on threads from areas of the web that typically do not receive much exposure. In May of 2018, he would release a video titled Weird Side of the Internet, Furries.
And today, we're going to be talking about furries.
The first 4 minutes of the video are
Furries.
dedicated to just giving an introduction as to who Kero is. Shane reacts to some of his content, makes jokes at Kero's expense, but also
Aw.
makes it clear that he finds him to be a likable figure who he wants to know more about. It's at this point in the video when he reaches out to Kero himself for an interview, and the two spend basically the entire rest of the video talking about the fandom.
Stereotype, I guess, of furries, which is that it's a solely sexual thing. And a lot of you guys say it's not, right?
It's not. Honestly, the age variation in
It
furries,
low-key
it can go
is.
anywhere from a person to be 12 years old to like 60 years old. There's a huge range of
60 years
ages in
old
here.
furry.
So most of the furry fandom
They're
is
all,
not a fetish. There is
100%
a sexual
pedophile.
side to it, but it's not that
Ooh.
large.
Kero wants to make it clear that while there are some
Why is he
weird
lying?
furries who may be
I don't
interested in
know.
the sexual
If,
side,
like,
of
why
things,
is he just lying?
personally just does it because he's a fan of animals and wants to share in his hobby online. While
Yeah,
Shane makes it
yeah,
clear that
yeah.
he finds the interest somewhat strange, as the video goes on, he seems to actually take a liking to the idea of wearing a fursuit. He shines a pretty positive light on the community as a whole,
Well,
and gives
well,
his
well,
millions of
Zootopia.
fans the impression that furries, while there are weirder aspects
What
to
the
them,
fuck is
are
the poster
ultimately
next to
nothing
the
but a bunch
Zootopia
of
one?
people partaking in a harmless
What
hobby.
the fuck
with
is
having
this?
It's the
fun.
alpha
And why
wolf.
wouldn't he say that? From the video, Kero himself seems to be a pretty harmless individual based off their interactions. Apart from the obvious exposure Kero got from the video itself, Shane also made a point to shout him out, encouraging his fans to subscribe to Kero and to get him to the 100,000 subscriber milestone.
He deserves a
Oh.
lot more than that. Guys, please go to Kero's channel and subscribe. Can we get Kero to 100K? I think we can.
Shane Dawson's fans began flocking
Does
to
he
Kero's
still have that
channel, complimenting
Snapchat?
him on his sense of humor and lighthearted approach to the hobby. They seemed to
I don't
generally
know.
enjoy his
Lol,
videos and push aside
Shane
whatever cringe factors typically associated with
Dawson.
furries to just enjoy his
He
content.
does. What the
I'm from
fuck?
Shane's channel. This is actually really cool. And Shane's sense of humor is offensive and funny, but he really likes you and you really opened my eyes to some things. keep doing what you're doing. And it wasn't just a few nice comments either. Kero's channel jumped from 10,000 subscribers to over 90,000 in that month alone. While previously he had been a name unknown to most, Shane had exposed Kero's personality to a side of the internet that otherwise probably would have shrugged him off just based on his appearance. He continued posting videos like he had been making to his YouTube channel, and by early 2018, he had passed 100,000 subscribers, officially making him one of the most popular furry YouTubers ever. In fact, as of July of that year, he was ranked within the top 10 most subscribed to furtubers, alongside more recognizable faces like Majira Strawberry. Majira, someone who is active on YouTube to this day, had done multiple collab videos with Kero where they donned their costumes together and promoted messages of love and tolerance for a group that, in past years, had been made fun of by a decent portion of the internet.
Thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. Oh my god, I can't even comprehend this. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you always make me happy. You're the best. You make me step up to tell people
the fuck are those
furries aren't
emojis?
bad. The cinematography
Wow, he
was
just picked a
absolutely
random
stunning
like
in this
comment.
video, Kero. I've been here since 20K, and you've grown so much. And I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say I'm so proud of you, Kero. Keep up the good work, man. We love you. Well, how sweet, and honestly, how inspirational. Kero had gone from someone typically frowned on by society for his strange interests to someone
The story
celebrated
could have ended
online
here.
as one of the biggest poppy
It
furs out
could've.
there. Unfortunately for him, it would soon be
Oh.
revealed that his messages of love and tolerance were merely a facade, built for
Aw.
the express purpose of hiding something much,
Then he got
much
caught.
darker beneath the surface.
Got
On the 16th of September, 2018, a number of logs began leaking from the furry community onto Twitter from a user by the name of Pseudonym. These leaks would later be reposted by an account by the name of Mordecai, who
Where's
posted a
the
thread
scat?
captioned, "Content warning, zoophilia, animal abuse, pedophilia." Kero the Wolf is a part of a circle of furries who participate in not only zoophilia, but also necrophilia, animal torture, and discussion of pedophilia. Here's the evidence. There are many, but I'll focus on him. According to Pseudonym and the leaks, Kero and a number of others had been engaged in these conversations for years, which they felt the need to expose after infiltrating their group for 2 of those years.
What the
but Mordecai
fuck?
themselves were not really sure who Pseudonym
Wait, I gotta
was,
send the
nor did they know the
fucking-
full story
Oh,
behind all of
damn
it.
it.
All they
No, I
had
can
was the
just do
archive of
this.
what was previously compiled, and presented it as such. This content was compiled by the now-defunct Pseudonym. I'll get more into this later. A few things before I start posting. I don't know who any of these individuals are. These screenshots date
Aw.
back literal years, and I don't know who Pseudonym is. Many in the replies went on to speculate on the veracity of these claims and comment on if the chat logs that were leaked were real at all. Pseudonym's reasoning for leaking all of these logs seemed to be some realization of how fucked up these people were once they were able to confirm more of their heinous actions. They say they know they'll be hated for betraying their friends, but feel the information has to be made public. Pseudonym themselves also indicates that they are a zoophile, but that the rest of those involved are zoo sadists. This means that those they expose
There's no
specifically enjoy
difference.
necrophilia and snuff films created of animals. I am sorry if people hate me for this or feel betrayed, but I don't care. Half of these people talk to me and use my chats to meet others. Fuck you. If the community took out its own trash, you wouldn't have this shit happen. So good on you. The bottom line is, there are way too many of you covering for your friends that are into, /sharing, /participating, let alone fucking creating content such as this. This is not acceptable. Do you want to be accepted by society? Grow up. Some of these people were my friends. I burnt relationships I had with others for years for this. But you know what? When I find out my friend fucked a puppy to the point of splitting it open, then left it for dead, that's not a fucking friend. To those of you
Oh,
who cover for these
boy.
fucks, know that it eventually comes around one way or the
That's
other.
not
when
good.
these people are arrested,
bad.
we'll be right there with them. Because guess what? Zoo is fucking illegal. And if this is what zoo
going
is,
to the
good.
zoo is not
It should
illegal.
be.
Be nice.
Clearly, Pseudonym here had seen something that they considered to be horrific, especially considering one particular line about a puppy. It's likely some of the most stomach-churning shit you've ever heard. As word got around about what had happened, the leaked
My
Telegram chats
churn.
became the primary subject of the online investigation,
It's always
with
fucking
users attempting to
Telegram.
determine their veracity based on the information presented. And, after actually going through the leaked chat logs which were alleged to be sent from Kero the Wolf in this Telegram group, it's no surprise that everyone was so passionate about finding out if they were real. On October 23rd, 2016, a message was sent reading, "Sorry for not responding last night, I passed out. But yeah, I'm okay with necro stuff if it's not that bloody, but I'm totally against killing for sex. I only do it with roadkill. Ooh, cub
Ew.
food. I
Okay.
always loved puppy butt. Same. I need some
Okay.
puppy booty. Same. Let's go grab
Okay.
ourselves a real cub and an animal. Let's make some rare shit.
There's
For
like the
unaware,
Chicago
Cubs
Cubs.
was content specifically catered to those attracted to younger dogs, meaning puppies. And from these chat logs, there seems
That's
to be
not
some
like the
indication that
baseball
the two,
team. What the
being this
fuck?
Kero
Oh,
the Wolf
boy.
account and this Snake Thing user,
What if you
intended on
like the
creating
Chicago Cubs
bestiality
and the
films. That would be
fucking
hot.
yucky
Oh,
Cubs?
I
It
don't
would
know.
be. I'm okay with humping a 4-month-old.
Ugh.
Same. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm a
Tom, you
yiffy.
can't be saying
That's
this.
okay. Me too. There is message after
What's a
message of
yiffy?
Snake Thing and this Kero account discussing this material
just
in depth,
horny
sending
fucking-
animations
or
back and
furry
forth
fucking.
of puppies being abused,
Oh.
talking about how they need to have sex with animals, and even discussing actual encounters they had with real-life animals. Kero claims that he used to stick his fingers in his childhood dog, and details a history of animal abuse at his
Ew.
hands. But Kero and Snake Thing were just two of the people in these leaks.
Is
In
this
fact, the
bad?
conversations they had
Ah,
were relatively
fucking
tame
yang
in comparison
yang.
to what the rest of
They
the
poop
community
out of that
was
same
talking
hole,
about.
you
There was talk
know.
of the creation of snuff films, as well as actual
gay
videos of
people?
animals being tortured and killed that came out with these leaks.
Well, that's why you
Obviously,
douche.
I cannot show the videos here, nor do I want to because of how disgusting and graphic they are, but I will read out a summary someone else posted at the time of the initial allegations where they described
Oh, this
the
is
videos
fucking
in
bad.
question.
This is fucking
Obvious
bad.
content warning ahead. These are
Oh,
extremely graphic.
fuck.
They will be disturbing. Even though it's just a description of them, you've been warned. Hey,
Oh,
so just so you all
shit.
know, if you don't have the stomach to watch the videos of Kero doing shit to these innocent animals, I'm gonna give you an extremely triggering thread of what I saw. There's so much more than just he's a zoophile. Video 1. Kero, in a suit head, forces a medium-sized dog to fillet sex toys, then the real thing. He anally penetrates the dog afterward. The dog runs out of the video several times and retracts and gags from the abuse. Video 2. A tied and muzzled German Shepherd is raped. Video 3. The corpse of a deer is used as a sex toy while its blood is smeared on Kero's legs. It's worth noting that these particular videos were not actually Kero. It was later confirmed to be another member of the chat. Video 4. A small dog is anally and orally raped. Video 5.
This
A
is
puppy
bad.
is drugged and strapped to a log. It is anally and vaginally raped with the wide end of a baseball bat until blood is visible on the bat. The dog begins to visibly spasm.
Hello?
Now this is a lot to take in,
Ew!
anyways.
It's
With allegations
fucking
of this
bad. It's so
proportion
bad.
and of this nature, people both inside
Is this worse
and
than Giggly
outside of the
Goon?
furry
This is
community
fucking
began talking about it,
bad.
and it became one of the biggest
You understand why I
stories
have a
of that year.
dislikes?
People on Kero's Fur Affinity account sent
Like, as
messages
bad
of
as
concern,
Giggly
saying
Goon
they
was,
hoped
at
the
least they
accusations
never
were
did
simply
anything.
fabricated, as they had looked up to Kero. Well, rest assured, he did have a response, being that all of the accusations were
Oh,
faked,
my
and
mom
that he had
said
been
hello.
hacked. Furries and drama. Before you go around believing these rumors about me, know the facts. My account was hacked. I would never do any of these things. These are faked conversations. All of this is someone trying to get attention. They're called trolls. If you choose to believe it without thinking about it logically, then fine. Become that online troll who has that mob mentality. But please always look at both
The
sides
mob?
first. It should be obvious that these
Toys of
logs are
Arrow.
fake. They don't even talk like me. Some decided to give him the benefit of the doubt based on this response, and posted videos discussing the
37 minutes
possibility
dick
that the
eating
logs
is
were
the
faked and
sadist.
Kero had done nothing wrong.
People go to insane lengths to destroy people they don't like. It is totally not out of the question.
Me
that
to
someone
some
would have
furry
done
I
this
don't
out
know.
of malicious intent, and it would have taken the time to do it.
And he's fat
And it's
too.
worked.
But Kero's response itself is pretty lacking. The idea that simply because this Kero the Wolf on Telegram didn't speak just like the Kero everyone knew from Twitter and YouTube, that it couldn't possibly be him is just laughable. But let's give Kero the benefit of the doubt. Especially with accusations as damning as these are, I mean anyone in their right mind, if they are innocent, would want to do their best to exonerate themselves. Kero showed that according to his Telegram history, someone had accessed his Telegram account from a different IP address. Someone from Iran. Supposedly, had hacked into his account.
Actually,
However, this also
Iran.
could have been done using a
Iran.
virtual private network in order to mask their true location. But clearly something was amiss. In further screenshots, users noted that there was an interesting icon at the top right-hand corner of Kero's screen. This icon is a key and indicates that
Oh,
Kero
shit.
had his own virtual private network active at the time of taking the screenshot.
Dumbass.
People called out Kero for this as it seemed he had fabricated this hack using his own VPN, but Kero simply claimed that he had been using a VPN anyway, and that alone is not evidence that he faked his own security breach. And he'd be right. With accusations of this magnitude, you need to bring a lot to the table in order to prove that someone is guilty. Accusations of this size can not only ruin someone's reputation, but also get them thrown in jail. So let's examine more links between this Kero the Wolf account and the Kero who was defending himself on Twitter. In the days following the leaks, every major platform known to man exploded with content about Kero. The usual suspects like Mr. Mediker covered the story in videos and streams, while others created entire YouTube channels and Twitters dedicated to archiving the situation. When looking at the logs in their totality, it becomes much more difficult to discount that it was the Kero we know from YouTube in these chats. The amount of connections are numerous, and for it not to be Kero, it would have to be a nearly impossible coincidence. First of all, both Keros have similar fetishes. In multiple of the messages, Telegram Kero claims to have an interest in vor, being one of his tamer interests. Amazing, I know. This is also reflected by the public Kero the Wolf Twitter account. Both Keros also claim to live in the same state. Telegram Kero states, just search around Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm about an hour and a half away from there. Meanwhile, the public Kero Twitter account similarly places him in Pennsylvania, nevertheless near the same city. Even beyond this, Telegram Kero makes multiple specific references to videos that the other Kero was involved in. At some point, he remarks that the Shane Dawson video had helped grow his channel a ton, and talks about how it would be useful in getting more people to be accepting of the fandom. At one point, he discusses how he just filmed a YouTube video where he derped around in a random fursuit. He even has a picture he took with his phone of the video's thumbnail. That video is on Kero's channel to this day, and the date of the upload is the same exact day Telegram conversations about the video took place. There's even instances where Kero discussed videos that he hadn't released yet in the Telegram messages, and later on the video came out. All of this is pretty convincing on its own, but things get much darker when you take into account one of the most specific things revealed in the chat logs. Kero was the owner of a dog, a German and Australian Shepherd mix who he had since childhood. It was his family dog. In early 2017, this dog passed away due to an illness, which corresponds with his public tweets about the situation. I want to do a video tribute for my dog, but I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. So here's a poll. This was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Finally got to go to his grave. Goodbye, Coda. I never thought I would be saying that. It's an experience many people have, saying goodbye to a childhood pet. Something that, while sad, could be considered average. However, Telegram Kero's messages on the subject were anything but average. They show Kero expressing some level of remorse for the things he had done to his dog. Are you okay? Not really. I just got the news that my dog is dying of kidney failure. Yeah, I still miss him. I'm making a tribute video tomorrow and Friday. Yeah, my father is gonna send me a picture of Coda in his casket when he gets home. There's a cow farm up the road, so I'm tempted to sneak over there and see if I can find a good spot to finger some cow butt.
Are we
Thank
serious?
you. I left the group because it reminded me of the stuff I did to him. Now that he's dying, I can't believe I did that to him. I can't be a part of that group any longer. I love him so much, and when he needs me, I can't be there. I'm almost 2 states away. Wraps arms around you. Try not to feel beat up about what you did. He still loves you in the end, and I'm sure he had a blast of a time with you. With some care, he could survive until you see him again, I think. Though it'd be some cost, I think. For closure, for you, I think it'd be worth it. The connections between Telegram Kero and the Popufer really go on and on. From music taste being the same, to even posting the same exact song in the chat as the Kero Twitter account had posted the same day. If Kero was somehow telling the truth at this point and there was someone trying to frame him, they would have had to closely follow literally every single aspect of his life and know him personally. They would have to know private details about him that no one knew other than him. Additionally, the possibility that these chat logs were edited is actually an impossibility. After 3 days, you're unable to edit Telegram chat logs. Meanwhile, these conversations were years old. The idea of this being the work of some level 8 Lizard Squad mage was just extremely unlikely, and Kero had no solid refute for any of the specific connections. He simply made vague statements on social media about being framed while maintaining his innocence. It was also at this point that Shane Dawson quietly privated the video he had done with Kero, having heard of the controversy and not wanting to associate with someone who was an alleged animal abuser. Meanwhile, anyone who had given Kero the benefit of the doubt walked back their prior claims, admitting that the evidence Kero was the one in the logs was simply undeniable.
Kero the Wolf is guilty. At this point, there's no question about that. There's been so much evidence that's come out that all signs point to him being guilty.
While everything we've covered so far is bad, the previous part of this video is merely the tip of a massive bestiality iceberg. There's so much content you'd think Wendigoon would have a series on it. Regardless, I'll attempt to paint a picture of the kind of community Kero was involved in and just how far back all of this goes. Given the kinds of interests zoophiles and zoo sadists have, there's no way they can openly talk about their sexuality, and I use that term for convenience's sake, on the open internet. Instead, they have to use anonymous websites associated specifically with their interests. Enter the Beast Forums, a now defunct site dedicated to a peaceful gathering of animal rapists. The site had over 2 million accounts worldwide. And in this ocean of degeneracy, there sits one in particular that many took an interest in. The Dogman 2. According to his profile, he's a male born on the 19th of May, 1994, from good old Pennsylvania. The reason this profile caught the attention of so many is because of the existence of a few pictures. Recall Kero's dog, Coda, the same dog that Telegram Kero discussed abusing in the leaked chat logs, who later passed away. The dog itself is a German Shepherd and Aussie mix, giving him a very distinct appearance. On January 22nd, 2012, the Dogman 2 posted that he had just gotten a puppy, which bears a striking resemblance to Kero's dog. The post itself reads, "Hello, I got a puppy and he's now 6 months old. The pictures below are when I first got him. But I was wondering, when can I have anal sex with him? He has a sexy butt emoji, but I don't want to harm him. So how old does he have to be
how
to be ready
fucking
for
degenerate do you have? Like, just
One
go
of
get
these
a
pictures was
girl.
also posted to Kero's
I know,
official
bro.
Fur Affinity
I
blog,
like.
which was
I've
also
never.
linked
I
to
don't
his
know
YouTube
for
channel
sure.
and
Well,
Twitter
I don't
account.
know for
The real
sure,
kicker is that
but
these
I
photos
feel like.
from the Fur Affinity page were also
Okay,
posted
I
long
think he's
after
gay.
the
I
Beast
feel like
Forums
a
post.
human butt.
On September 3rd,
An adult
2014,
human
the
butt is
Dogman
better
2
than a
posted
dog
that he would be
butt.
moving. Anyone in or near Oakdale,
I
Pennsylvania?
don't know for
I'm
sure,
moving there
but
soon, and I was
have a
wondering if I could meet
sneaking
some new buddies when I move
suspicion.
there.
Well, he's just
Throw me a
retarded.
message or comment below if you're interested in meeting. Would love to have some more zoo friends.
I'm
So,
acting
where was Kero the Wolf at
bizarre.
this time?
I'm going to college in 4 days. I'm so excited.
Ah, yes, embarking on an important step in the life of every young adult. Going to college. So where was Kero going to college? Well, he was moving to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oakdale is a suburb of Pittsburgh, PA. And to add to that, on the Pennsylvania Furries website, the website for furries from fucking Pennsylvania, where does Kero list his location? Oakdale, Pennsylvania. After all of this was discovered by Kiwi Farms users and reported by Archive the Wolf on YouTube, all photos of Coda from Kero's Fur Affinity page suddenly disappeared. He was covering his tracks. In 2017, the Dogman 2 stated that they had 9 years of experience with animals. If this is true, then Kero was 13 years old when he first began abusing animals. This would also mean that he had been doing all of this for 10 years prior to the leaks, and for the entire time he was on YouTube. The entire time he was featured in a Shane Dawson video. He was raping dogs and talking to other like-minded dog rapists.
Somebody should just
My
kill
puppy,
this dude.
oh so long ago. Well, he's all
Bro.
grown up. He was really cute back then, and still is to this day. According to Pseudonym's leaks, Kero is one of the many involved in the zoo sadism chat logs. Names like Zyro, Glowfox, Emberwolf, and Techno Husky are just some of those implicated in the allegations. But, as mentioned before, Kero's crimes were honestly tame when compared to the other people in these chats. One particular individual who would have his crimes somewhat overshadowed due to the e-celebrity status of Kero would be thoroughly exposed by Kiwi Farms users. He's gone by many names online, but Woof is the one most commonly associated with
This is
these
where the video
crimes,
gets really
which
fucked.
include a wide variety of animal abuse, torture, and killings. Anyone scrolling through the things he talked about doing would be thoroughly disturbed.
So apparently these disgusting pieces of shit have different methods that they enjoy for torturing and killing animals. This is from another person in the group. Wolf, a wooden toy I used to fuck a virgin bitch. Honey was applied to a few hours before so that the fire ants would cover the toy. It was shoved into a virgin bitch pussy minutes later. Snake thing, I saw that.
What the fuck?
I love it. So just so you understand what this person is saying, they made a wooden stake and they covered it in honey to get fire ants on it. And then once it was covered in ants, they inserted it into a dog. You know, when we started this, it was Kero fucking a dead deer carcass. And people were like, holy shit, that's fucked up. How could it get worse? Here you go.
Wolf,
No,
real
but
name
what
Ruben
the
Pernas, age
fuck?
29 from Havana, Cuba, was an integral member to these Telegram chats, being specifically interested in zoo sadism. He not only shared animal torture content, but also created it himself, going into explicit detail about how he would acquire animals to then use for his sick pleasure. While it wasn't exactly easy to identify who he was, given the actual content of his messages describing atrocity after atrocity committed towards animals in his care, users were dedicated to getting his docs. Once identified, Kiwi Farms users reached out to him via email. Rather than not responding, he instead admitted that all of the confessions he made in the Telegram leaks were, in fact, real, and begged to not have his information published. I understand your concerns and how difficult it is for you and your team/friends to believe in my sincerity after everything I did and said. I assure you and promise you that I do regret for everything I did. I promise that I will not do the things I did ever again. I assure you, I'm neither a threat nor a danger. I want to find peace and, with your help, leave the past buried so that I can start a new life, away from my old life. My advice, look not only for the dark animal groups, but for the human dark groups also. Those groups make you ready to do the worst things you can think of. Those places corrupt your mind and who you are and are like a drug. Once you get in, you can't get out easily. I know the things I did cannot be undone or forgiven. You have the power to destroy me at any time. I'm just asking for a second chance. I'm no longer a threat, nor now, or in the future. Don't do as I did. Please have mercy for that which mercy I did not have. I don't know if there's anything he could possibly do to right the wrongs he committed, but it is worth noting that nothing in this massive apology expresses any real remorse for his actions. He only wishes that no consequences will befall him for everything he did. Obviously, Kiwi users immediately got all of the information together and posted his full docs to 8chan. This resulted in press coverage, the involvement of animal rights groups, social media posts and flyers, and a protest involving hundreds for animal rights in Cuba. But as of now, Wolf's whereabouts are unknown. One poster claimed he was awaiting trial, but that there has not been any updates since. This is likely because there are no laws against animal abuse in Cuba, meaning there's nothing the authorities can really charge him with. For now, it appears one of the most egregious culprits is still on the loose, possibly abusing dogs to this day.
Hey, does
But
someone
Wolf
kill
was
him?
only
The
uncovered
fuck?
to be as depraved as he was once the leaks were made public and people began combing through all of it. The initial info dump primarily aimed to take down one individual, Snake Thing, known in real life as Levi Dane Simmons, born December 20th, 1994.
Snake Thing, I love puppies, XD, Wags, I agree. This is a conversation with Wolf now. Played with a 4-month-old puppy yesterday, but only for a little while. He humped really nice and had a beautiful cock. Wish I could spend more time with him to take some pics.
Snake Thing was a close friend of Kero's, discussing bestiality, often in their logs. But Snake Thing himself was depraved in his own unique ways, not only abusing animals, but also children on a regular basis. Those involved in the group chats recognized him as a key organizer among zoos, helping them network and make new friends with similar interests. In the logs themselves, he admitted to raping a 12-year-old puppy, as well as abusing his nephews. You may also recognize him from the chat logs with Wolf, as the two were in contact and frequently praised each other for their exploits. On March 9th, 2020, he pled guilty to 6 charges of encouraging child sexual abuse in the first degree and 4 charges of encouraging child sexual abuse in the second degree. His sentence is for 25 years in prison, meaning he would be released in 2045. Another member of the chat, Corey the Wolf, TWC, was similarly charged as of 2019 and was awaiting trial, but there has not been any updates since then that I can find. The aforementioned puppy rape by Snake Thing occurred in a motel room in the seaside town of Coos Bay, Oregon. But Snake Thing himself, being legally blind and basically unable to leave his home most of the time, was not able to pull this off on his own. Instead, he had an accomplice, Tim Wynn. While everyone I've discussed thus far has been
Wait, hold on, pause it.
He had an accomplice, Tim
Only censored so I don't get privacy complaint thanks to YouTube's stupid cringe rules. Oh, okay.
Where are you?
3106.
Yeah, I gotta go back there. Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Win. While everyone I've discussed thus far has been pretty young, Timothy George Amoroso is not. At 60 years old, he's had quite a history of animal abuse. For half of his life, there's been documentation of these acts, going all the way back to the early days of the internet. Naturally, once things became more user-friendly and younger zoophiles and zoosadists made their way to chat groups and the like, Tim became involved in reaching out to these people to share his own disgusting interests. I've given a lot of dog/puppy sedatives with the desired outcome.
Okay.
Most just don't know the fun of a squirmy puppy stuck on your cock.
Okay.
Puppy guts are best fresh. When fresh, I think they smell delicious. There is message after message of Tim describing his favorite activities: acquiring a puppy, abusing it, torturing it, and even having sex with wounds he would inflict while the animal was still
What?
alive. Once dead, he would then cook the
Ew.
animals and eat them.
What?
Tim has been creating snuff films for decades and aiding other zoo sadists in exercising their sick urges as well. He's truly one of the most evil people I have ever read about and feels straight out of a horror film. But I assure you, Tim Amoroso is a very real guy who has done a lot of very real, very terrible things. Things so horrific, my vocabulary limits me from truly outlining just how fucking evil this guy is. After meeting on Reddit, Tim and Snake Thing would move conversations to Telegram. This made it possible for the two to eventually meet and torture animals together. Despite being doxxed and having a tip submitted to the FBI, Tim Wynn was believed to be at large until mid-2019, when he sent an email to the host of the Zooier Than Thou podcast. In this email, he claims
Not
to be
fucking
under
Zooier Than
investigation by
Thou.
law enforcement and in some kind of therapy program. In July, he created a new Reddit account, claiming he was trying to find treatment for his impulses, seemingly expressing remorse for his past. However, as Archive the Wolf reported, within weeks he was back to his old ways, posting on Reddit about the abuse of animals. It's believed that Tim Wynn is at large to this day.
Bro.
Now there's one last person I want to cover specifically who is important to our story, and is yet another tie between Kero and the zoo sadism leaks. Colwyn Collie. It's a name I have yet to mention, and honestly, when
What a
hearing it for the
retard
first time,
name.
it sort of strikes me as a generic name for a furry. Kero the Wolf has spent time in a YouTube video, as well as on Twitter, mourning the loss of Colwyn Collie, who he claims to have been his boyfriend for some time, who had unfortunately passed away due to a drug overdose. If you've spent any time researching furries, you may be familiar with the fact that there seems to be a persistent drug problem at conventions and behind the scenes. For whatever reasons, many attendees like to experiment with hard drugs. Kero's video in particular was praised by his fans for talking about something so personal and addressing a serious issue in the fandom. But once the zoo sadism leaks were released, and Kero was implicated, all of his past became subject to scrutiny, including the existence of Colwyn Collie. The reason why? Well, for one, the video and any tweets about Colwyn Collie were specifically removed when the leaks happened. As far as anyone has been able to figure out, Colwyn Collie never existed. At least, not under that name. Kero did have a boyfriend. His name was Ilwan Shepivaz, someone also implicated in the zoo sadism leaks. Via the chat logs, it can be seen he was buddy-buddy with Snake Thing and Wolf, as well as being the significant other of Kero. Much like Colwyn Collie, Sheppy died of a drug overdose, being referenced specifically by Kero in the Telegram chat logs when discussing his disappearance and eventual passing.
No rush or pressure, bud. Kero, is it about Illy? Because we've been trying to find out what happened for a week now.
A day went by, and then a week went by. I started to get worried.
We tried reaching out to his work. They couldn't tell us anything.
Fucking tired.
We searched everywhere online. Nothing turned up. So my friend is gonna try to get a hold of his father tomorrow and see if he checked himself in somewhere.
And then I tried to contact all of his friends. I tried to contact his parents.
Last thing he sent me was a Google joke.
And he sent me this stupid Google picture. It was so stupid, but it was funny at the time.
Abracadabra.
And then I didn't hear from him again.
So I responded, and he never gave back a response.
I found out what happened. On Friday, after his day stuff, he got his hands on some weed and heroin. The heroin was laced. I really hate to say it, but he died. They found him on Sunday.
And then finally, one of his friends messaged me and told me he was gone. He overdosed on drugs, and they found him in his apartment.
That very same day, July 21st, 2018, Kero makes a tweet announcing his boyfriend, Colwyn Collie, had died from a drug overdose.
Kero deleted all traces of Colwyn Collie because he realized that he had accidentally tied himself to the zoo sadism leaks. He basically caught himself, and was bold enough to lie about the identity of his boyfriend's passing to his audience of thousands of people. Keep in mind, this person is also a serial animal abuser and zoo sadist who participated in all of the same shit everyone else there did. In the messages, Kero mourns his loss. It's just, the reason why I don't date, well, the reason before I dated him was because I could never find someone with the same interests as me. I could not date a non-zoophile because I hate hiding things from mates. He was perfect, he understood me as a person, and we had so much in common. With so much heat on the situation, it would only be a matter of time before
What
the
do you think's
police
gonna
were
happen?
involved in some
I
capacity
think they're
with
gonna
Kero
lock him
himself.
up.
In November of 2018, video evidence as well as the logs were sent to the police. Many were hopeful that this investigation would lead to some level of punishment, maybe a stint in jail at least. I look forward to his pending arrest and imprisonment. Unfortunately, this was not the case, and today, Kero is a free man. But it wasn't for lack of trying. On September 2nd of 2019, the Kero Archive posted a thread detailing why the investigation failed to produce any charges, going in depth with the statute of limitations, as well as the evidence presented to the New York police. I've spent the last 2 weeks looking over the evidence that had been given to the New York police investigating Kero the Wolf. In this thread, I explained why there's hard proof the statute of limitations is what hamstrung New York's case against Kero, and how he's gotten away on a technicality. In November of 2018, the New York police were sent a video found on 8chan of a mostly unseen camera person molesting a large black and brown dog with long hair, and a document explaining the implications Kero was behind the video, and Coda was the dog being abused. A public version of the document was posted on November 7th, 2018, to mega.nz. It was taken down, most likely for using uncensored stills from the video. In the video, the camera person could be seen wearing the same black shoes and gray striped sweater Kero wore to the Pennsylvania Furries. January 17th, 2015, Cosmic Fur Bowl event. And here, comparisons between these screenshots of the video in question are shown, where it is clearly seen that the video's creator is wearing shoes identical to those Kero had worn to a furry convention. The same applies to his sweatshirt, where the same colored cuff and style of sweatshirt can be seen on Kero and the creator of this video. As some additional pieces, it's pointed out that the dog in the video has the same fur patterns as Kero's German Shepherd, and that he has the same red collar. They did some extensive comparisons of the fur patterns, and they really do look exactly the same. As for when the video was taken, it actually isn't recent, at least if it's to be believed that Kero is in fact the creator. For a moment in the video, the chin of the cameraman could be seen, which appears to be clean-shaven. Kero has not been clean-shaven in images of himself since 2014, hence why it is believed that the video was 4 years old as of the time of the initial leaks in 2018. Now, for the video to not be Kero, here are the circumstances just to run it back a bit. For this video to not be Kero the Wolf, there would have to be another furry who owns a dog that looks exactly the same, owns the same red collar for the dog, owns the same tennis shoes, owns the same sweatshirt, and browses the same areas of the internet Kero does. At least, enough for a video to eventually be leaked to 8chan of them abusing their dog. If you think that's not enough, then by all means, believe what you want. But I think most have probably drawn their own conclusions based on this and everything else. So why was this video not enough to get Kero put in jail? I mean, if this is him, why is he not imprisoned? Kero would have you think that it's because he was simply exonerated of all possible charges and that he's completely innocent. But as with most legal issues, it's a little more complicated than that. Bestiality is a misdemeanor in New York, and their statute of limitations on misdemeanors is 2 years. If this video was from an episode of animal sex abuse that happened in 2014 or earlier, the police in 2018 couldn't do anything about it. I looked for the 8chan thread and was able to find the link to the 8chan upload of the video. Doesn't work anymore due to 8chan shutting down. Note the URL ends with a video file name: movie _ number 27 _ 2014 1129 _ 002340.mp4.
Did we watch it?
I knew Kero had uploaded photos and videos of himself abusing Coda to Beast Forum and began searching the archived threads and posts there to see if anything matched. On November 30th, 2014, Kero uploaded his first bestiality video to Beast Forum. The video had a very familiar file name, and if we compare these two, they are in fact a match as far as the file name. The jumble of numbers in the file name is the date the video was taken, November 29th, 2014 at 12:23 and 40 seconds a.m. A day and 2 years too late for the New York police to charge Kero for bestiality and distribution due to their statute of limitations on misdemeanors.
That's right.
So, to be clear, Kero is currently innocent in the eyes of the law, but only based on the statute of limitations. If the video that was submitted to the police was submitted sooner, it's possible that there could have been charges, but a judge can't sign a search warrant for a crime that occurred in a time frame outside of that statute, and as a result, there's nothing that can be done about this particular video. 2.5 years after the initial leaks, Kero posted a video to YouTube titled My Side. In the video, he states that he is innocent and that the police had in fact visited his apartment multiple times a week, even saying he let them search his stuff. After a month and a half, they managed to obtain a search warrant for his apartment and confiscated all of his video equipment, computers, and other electronic devices that could be associated with the production and distribution of illegal materials. At this point, Kero states that he was depressed.
This really took a toll on my mental health. I was suicidal, I was
Holy
depressed, and I was just
shit,
overall
bro.
broken. I honestly
Ugly.
tried to leave the community in January because no one was listening to me. But a month after everything was taken, memories
Nobody's
poured into my head.
listening.
The fandom helped me so much. Even if a lot of you
That's
dislike
it.
me, I can never dislike the fandom.
Kero says that he plans to return to the fandom because it's where he feels he truly belongs, and what has made him who he is today. He then goes on to discuss the allegations themselves.
While it is true I have talked to Snake Thing before, I didn't know he was a monster he turned out to be. We were
You're
not
a monster,
friends,
you
just
fat
some guy I
fuck.
met in some furry group. And we
You
talked about
fat,
feral
you
cartoons.
fucking
The blogs
blob.
me
I'll
are
beat the
not
I'll beat the shit out of him.
nasty
What's he
shit
gonna
embarrassing, Just a
do?
normal conversation
Good on you.
between two people who like feral characters. Secondly, I want to point out the legitimacy of the person who posted the logs. This user claims to be an actual confessed zoophile, and the logs contain images of bestiality. How does that make him a legitimate source if he himself is one of those people that abuses animals? A lot of people are so
This
eager
apology
to believe what
fucking
they see
sucks.
online, but they don't take the time to think about things or ask basic questions. 1. How can the source be trusted? 2. What's the motive? In the video shared by him, actual animals were harmed, but instead of taking it to the police, where it would do actual good, he posted online?
At 15 minutes in length, you'd think there would be no lack of runtime to be discussed, but it's honestly not worth dissecting point by point here. Kero ignores the most damning evidence while relying on anecdotal observations, like that the original leaker claims to be a zoophile themselves. His basic message is that he was slandered, he was hacked, and the chat logs are fabricated. He
Holy
states that the legal
fuck.
process has taken its course, and as a
What?
result,
I
people should
can't
simply
stay
drop it and
awake.
stop being mad at him because he hadn't been officially charged.
So we were both investigated by the police, and he was found guilty. Meanwhile, I never had a charge
Fuck you.
on me. That should say
I hope you end up like
I'm
him.
glad Snake Thing is in jail. So many people were distracted by targeting me,
Shut the fuck
while
up.
Snake Thing nearly got
No.
away with it.
You're
He was
Snake
the
Thing.
real monster.
Oh my god,
So to wrap this
Snake!
up, no,
Snake-
I'm not
snake
a zoothaist.
video.
No, I'm not a
Oh,
pedophile.
that's
I know the
bad.
controversy has caused
Here,
the
after
fandom a lot
this,
of pain.
maybe I
I'll do
just
my
gotta
best to help the
take.
community
Well,
like it
no.
helped me
I
so
think we
many
should go
years
bed.
ago. I am sorry
But
for
no,
how
we
I
gotta do it
handled
in
it in the beginning of
normality.
this.
The
I'm too
video was
tired.
framed as a sort of response
What?
to allegations.
I'm way
After
too
all,
tired.
it had been done before.
Fuck
People
you.
like Slazo and Pro Jared had made videos prior to Kero, and successfully turned public opinion back in their favor. The difference here is that Kero was
It's
guilty
got like
of
40
everything he was
minutes.
accused of. Subsequent videos on the subject pointed out that there was even more evidence that had been dug up to tie him to the chat logs and show that he was the one in those conversations.
And through all that, there were never any charges against me. If there's any evidence being used against me, the police would have found it.
Sure, unless you scrubbed and encrypted your devices, which is exactly what the lead investigator for your case complained about. It sure would be a shame if you had displayed a consistent behavioral pattern of deleting evidence that would corroborate with this claim. You know, like that time you deleted your Telegram less than 5 hours after the logs were posted. Or that time you deleted your Periscope garage tour video after people used it to connect the dots with animal abuse videos featuring a dog identical to yours in a garage identical to yours. Or how about that time you removed your classic ARF ARF greeting from your YouTube About section after people pointed out that chat logs featured the same greeting? Or how about that time you deleted all your tweets and privated the video about your boyfriend, Colwyn Colley, after people pointed out he was actually the zoo sadist, Ill One Sheppy Paws? Or that time you deleted all pictures of your dog from Fur Affinity after I pointed out some of those same pictures were uploaded to Beast Forum before you even made your
It's all
Fur
coming
Affinity?
crashing down.
Or the time you removed all mention of cheesecake from your Fur Affinity after I pointed out that a Zoophile's Kick username was identical to your saying about cheesecake? Boy, I wonder why the police would have a hard time
course he
finding
would like
evidence on someone like
cheesecake,
you.
fat
When Archive
fuck.
the Wolf posted a response video to Kero's My Side, it was received well, and praised for how succinctly it pointed out the flaws with Kero's response. Kero opted to have this video removed from YouTube altogether via a false copyright strike, although the full version is available through re-uploads to this day. It's important to keep in mind that most furries do not support the actions of Kero. As weird as I and many in my audience may find the fandom overall, ultimately, actions have to speak louder than fursuits. Furries themselves were instrumental in bringing all of the information discovered about him to light, as well as various other Twitter users and forum accounts dedicated to compiling all of this information. And all of that should be praised. But there is undoubtedly a problem in the community. As Archive the Wolf points out, this is not an isolated incident by any means within the furry fandom. Multiple of those outed as members of bestiality chat rooms, and even those within the zoosadism leaks themselves, continue to be members of the community to this day, an issue that some seem uninterested in weeding out. If there was a happy message to end this video on, I would. In fact, I tried very hard to find it. Unfortunately, the story of Kero the Wolf is about as blackpilling as they get. It's the story of a man so despicable that you would be extremely hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't associate his online alias with the terrible things he and his community were engaged in. And while Kero was the main focus of this video, it's important to keep in mind that he was not the only one involved here. Kero was a member of multiple group chats and was trying to build a small, isolated community for these interests. There is a non-zero chance that groups like this exist to this day and are likely sharing materials on the same, if not worse, level of disgust. There have been more leaks since then, and there will be more leaks in the future.
Great.
If you'd like to know more about all of this, Cecil McFly has done 2 videos which go exhaustively in depth with all of this, and Archive the Wolf has done a bunch of videos going more in depth on specific criminals involved here as well. I'll link both of them in the description down below. According to his Twitter, Joshua Hoffman has left Pennsylvania after getting a new job, and was in the process of moving in early April. The constant hate towards his account has died down, likely as a result of mass blocks, and to this day, while they are few in number, he has a number of people in his replies who send messages of adoration and support whenever he tweets. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time,
Thomas.
leave me alone.
Okay. So that was Kero the... So that was Kero the Wolf. Yeah, that last half was... I'm sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm just fucking tired. YouTube video. I've been playing for... Let's see, that was like 10 hours. Like 11 hours, but minus like 3 because I watched The Sopranos and stuff. I don't know. I started at like 6 in the morning and it's now nearly 11 at night, so it's pretty much been all day, so I'm a little tired, so sorry for that ending, but I hope y'all liked our reaction. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.